So how do you deal with guilt and the terminology of being selfish that a lot of women tend to feel when we're thinking about self-love?
You know, when it comes to self-love and these feelings of guilt and being selfish, I mean, there was one point in time when I used to think to myself, if I want to get let's say I want to get a facial or I want to get a massage or something, I want to do something for myself. I always felt like, oh, but this kid needs sneakers or this one needs a coat or, I can't spend this money like this. I have to save it because what if they need something? But then I realized that, at the end of the day, I have to take care of myself. So if I want something special for myself, why not? Why not? And it's not selfish. And the guilt comes just from the internal mind thinking that I don't deserve this, that they deserve more. And you can't raise your children, you have to raise your children to see you as just as viable as you see them. If you raise them to think that, oh, well, everything, my mother's going to do it for me and she's going to take care of everything, then that's not good for them. They have to see you at your best. They have to know that you care about yourself. And in the end, you teach them how to care about themselves. And I think that's the most important thing. So, no, you're not being selfish. And no, you shouldn't feel guilty for taking care of yourself. They need you at your best.
Yeah, guilt. I think that was the hardest one for me to deal with. I always felt the need to put everyone else first. And like when it comes to clothes, the kids go through phases of, like, oh, I really want this brand name, and you do your best to actually make them feel happy because there's other kids in the school that might be having those brand names, and you don't want your kids to be feeling left out. So, especially when it comes to kids, but even my husband, my mom, the dogs, the cat, everyone always came first. And it got to a point actually that my daughter mentioned to me once, Mummy, you look like your life has been sucked out of you. That it made me stop and think. And then my younger son came in and I said, this is what your sister said. And he said, yeah, Mum, she's right. You don't look right. And I started to understand that no, there has to be a boundary that I need to put into how much I give, and that there's no need to feel guilty, because what's going on is, like you mentioned, Ophelia, it's about that role model. If I don't show that I care and love about myself, what subconscious message am I giving to my kids that I'm not worthy? So they're not going to love me when they get older. They're just going to think of themselves. Or I'm actually not giving the right example to my daughter that as a woman, yes, you can be independent. Yes, you can be a career woman and work hard. But when it comes to looking after myself, there's no need to take care of ourselves. That's not a good role model for women in the end.